Hey everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would make this card featuring Lawn Fawn's Kiss, Sealed with a Kiss stamp set. This stamp set was a Black Friday special of theirs, and I thought it would be really fun to use it in today's card. So I think eventually this is going to be a set that they are going to sell in another release, but for now I think it's unavailable to purchase at the moment. But never fear, they always bring them out. So I just wanted to go ahead and use it though, because I haven't used it yet since I purchased it. So I thought I would go ahead and ink up a little bit of my die cut circle here. I am using Broken China Distress ink for this background here, just to give a little bit of color at the top of my circle here, because I'm kind of creating a little bit of a scene, obviously, with these two cute seals. So I die cut a piece of fog cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, also using the simple hillside borders, from Lawn Fawn, and just to give it a little bit of a, obviously, hillside for them to sit on, just to give them a bit of a ground to be placed upon. And so I'm going to take some pumice stone distress ink and give it a little bit of a color at the top of this hillside here, and just lightly adding that on, not very much at all, but just kind of give it some color, because obviously I don't want to leave it too flat, and this helps with the whole entire overall look of the scene here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my liquid glue now, and just going to put just a little bit of liquid glue and apply this onto my circle here and get that into place. And then we're going to work on our little seals. And I love these two seals. They're so cute. And of course this set would really go great with, I believe it's Critters in the, let's see, I don't know what the set's name is. But the seal that, I believe it's Winter Seal, I don't know. You know, guys, I'm struggling, so it's been a long day. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to my seals, just a little bit of shading, not much at all here. And I'm taking my C2 marker here, gray marker, and add a little bit of shading around these seals. And then I'm going to add a little bit of, just to blend it out, I'm going to take my colorless blender and just to blend it out. Now, I probably didn't have to do this, but because whenever that gray settles in and really soaks into the paper, it would probably even out on its own anyway. But just to be on the safe side, I just go ahead and take my colorless blender to do that. And then I thought it would be great to add a little bit of texture to these seals. So I'm just taking this C2 marker that I used before and just adding a little bit of a dot detail. And that really does bring these little seals to life, I think. So now in this set, they also have these two little dots, and what this is for is to add a little color to the cheeks of this one seal. You could probably ink up just one of the little dots too, and add a little bit of a cheek to the other seal too if you wanted to. But I thought this was such an adorable little element to this stamp set, and so I just love it how it just adds to the overall look of that seal. So I took some Wild Rose, not Distress ink, but Wild Rose Lawn Fawn ink to put that onto, stamp that onto my seal's cheeks there. And I've went ahead and took the coordinating dies to die cut those out. And now I'm going to take the sentiment here and add it to my die cut circle. And I thought it would be great to take the jet black ink here from Lawn Fawn to use for my sentiment today. This is a really great ink. I did an overall, like a mini review, if you will, or to test it against some other black inks recently, primarily to test it against some others that are great for Copic markers or alcohol-based markers. But this is a great ink just to stamp with in general. It's a really great black ink. So I do highly recommend it. So if you are looking for a good black ink, there are lots of them out there, of course, but I really do like this one as well. And so I'm going to take that Wild Rose ink and use that little moi speech bubble there, and I'm going to ink that up and just stamp that to the side of the left of that one seal. And then I'm going to take the exclamation point and add it to my sentiment and just kind of tie it all together. Now I'm going to get my seals into place. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue once again and take my tweezers. These are like my second set of fingers, if you will, because they really do help me adhere tiny pieces like this. It's a really great tool to have in the craft room, or any type of pair of tweezers like this to help you with die cuts and such. So now what I'm going to do is take I've got a piece of craft cardstock that I die cut with a rectangle stitched die, and then I took some papers that I used from my recent pattern paper series with the 3 cards. This is Winter Wonderland from Simple Stories, and I had some patterns that I hadn't used from that series, so I thought I would use those today as well. And I die cut this circle here with the fancy scallop circles from Fawn, and just to give it a little bit of a frame. So now I'm going to add some glue to my pattern paper here, and then add that to my craft card base here, or craft card panel. Add that to that craft card panel, and then I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the circle, and just give it a little bit of dimension, because overall this is a pretty simple card, but I wanted to add a little bit of dimension to this circle, and it will still be great enough to put in the mail. It wouldn't be too bulky to put in the mail. So I am taking a piece of my foam adhesive here, just kind of cut my strip in half, and I've learned this kind of technique, or tip, I guess you'd say, through other YouTubers and card makers, that if you take the backing off of this foam adhesive, it's really pliable, and you can add it to any kind of circle die cut like this, and you can see how well it just moves and forms to where you want it to go. And so that's really a great tip. I think this would be, and I know they usually use this for shaker cards too. So really, really awesome way to get some dimension on there with a circle die cut. So a little bit of my glue kind of oozed out there, so I'm just kind of removing that, and then I'm going to add my focal panel to my main card panel here. I'm going to take my eraser there just to kind of remove some of that adhesive that had oozed out, and now I've got a A2 sized, or I'm going to make an A2 sized card base here out of my fog cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. So I'm just going to score that at 4 1/4 and get that good and creased down. I'm going to kind of take my liquid glue once more and get that onto the back of my panel here, and get that into place. And then I thought I would go ahead and add just a little bit of final detail by taking my Wink of Stella shimmer pen and add it to a little bit of the little speech bubble there, as well as his one of the Seal's little pink cheeks. I thought that would be really fun to add that little detail, and as it catches the light, you can see a little bit of that shimmer. And so I thought I would add a little bit of detail to the inside of the card as well, and just take the seal once again and stamp it out in Hippo ink from Fawn, kind of like a tone-on-tone, if you will. And so I thought this would kind of tie everything together and give a little bit of a scene on the inside of the card. So I'm going to stamp that down in that Hippo ink there, and then take the stamp it once again for the little cheeks and take my Wild Rose ink that I used before, and then stamp that down, and that will complete today's card. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and a look at this really cute set. Hopefully it will be in a release very, very soon for everyone to purchase. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye-bye.